Hello, today I am bringing you a kind of a treat. I'm bringing you the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck and also the Crystal Healing cards, Chakra and Universe. So my screen is flashing a little bit and I'm going to try to figure that out again. I thought I had that sorted out, but I'm not against just turning my screen off at this point in my readings because I just don't, I don't need to be in front of the camera that much, really, to be honest with you. I can provide a very good reading without it. So I have my notes and I'm going to go ahead and grab them so that I'm bringing you the reading according to the way I felt guided to bring it. And I will say that I use my own methods for grounding and connecting, and this one is no exception. So what I get is Lily of the Valley. And what is Lily of the Valley? It is a type of energy that bloomed at the same time or blooms at the same time as nightingale. It is an annual, meaning it reoccurs once a year. And the mythology of the Lily of the Valley is that she fell in love with the nightingale song, but Lily was too shy and never spoke up. She never used her voice, causing death of a potential relationship. And in a way, what is she warning us about? Warming climates. We are experiencing at this time warming climates, and that's what I got when I wrote this down. She's now asking us, Lily, to step forward with our gifts and talents. And she's saying there's opportunity with the courage to speak up and use your voice. Being bold and finding the courage to speak up. Thyroid. This is where I'm at. This is what I need to do. So it really hits home with me why I'm here. Okay. And this is also a number 2 card, meaning that it happens through the refining of relationships, developing ways as we go forward. We're not always going to make everybody happy. Some people are going to like us, some are not. Chances are people aren't going to like you. And you have to get over that. You know, how you feel is irrelevant. Okay. So let's move on to the second slide, and that is angelite. It is a type of crystal. Now, why do I have these two paired together? Well, let me just take you over here to the slide 5, and this is the actual layout of the cards that I did. So let's go back to this number 2 card, and you can see angelite. What is it for? It's for vitality and anger. They're sitting side by side. So if you're having vitality versus anger or anger versus vitality, you might need an angel-like crystal. Merciful, courage, harmony, and spiritual. So if you're needing spiritual harmony, this is the crystal for you. Property and sadness. Okay, so this is the crystal for you. Now, I am going to say that this card, as you can see, says 42. Change, solid and foundational. 4 corners, working perceptions. Focus on truth. Awakening that inner Aquarius. And we are getting ready to have that full moon in, full moon in Aquarius coming up on the 11th of August, which is going to be bringing about humanitarian energy, which receptive humanitarian energy. So I'm really looking forward to this particular full moon, bringing kindness back, and something we all really need to see. And why is that possible? Well, I'm seeing profound change, perhaps us needing to respond in huge ways to something that takes place and reminds us of what our higher truths are and shifting energy. So I'm sensing some real shifts in our energy. Okay. And so this is angel light crystal. Then we move on to the third slide. Bracken. Change, solid and foundational. The 4 corners. Working perceptions. Focusing on truth. Oh, sorry. I'm reading you the previous one. Bracken. This is the problem with being sick with cancer. My brain just sort of, I hate it, but it is what it is. And this cancer is here to remind me that I'm human and that I have work to do. Okay, so bracken is a mystical golden fern seed with the power of invisibility. They're very difficult to see. They live on the back of the ferns, and it's a shadowy feeling, the unseen, fearing this place of silence. Okay, why am I saying it this way? Well, when you plant a seed, you put it down underground, you suffocate it. It gets itchy, it gets irritated. It understands it's in a place of learning. It has to learn to reach up out of the darkness to prepare to be of service, right? To being planted in the ground, uncomfortable, how it looks, how it feels, driving us to seek a forward movement towards the sun, freedom from what oppresses us, the need to collaborate with others and meet the needs by extending a hand that's about growth. And we're all right there. We're all needing this energy. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the sun card. Okay, and this is from the crystals. And you say, okay, why is there a sun card in here? Well, there's planetary influences in the crystal healing cards. And 42, the sun, the king of daylight. And this adds to a 6, which is about family. Leadership. It's about father, power players, treating us like we're children, reminding us that they are overpowering us through ownership of resources, media, expecting us to partner in unbalanced ways, fearing us as the sun guides us upward towards exposure to truths, yellow and life-giving. Thus, we're seeing here on the island billionaire properties being damaged by the water. There's no more room. She's saying, she's exposing the truth. Don't be standing around down there in those gated communities if you can't get out fast, if the warning signs are there. If the water looks wrong, stay away, because we're about to see trouble. Okay, so then we move on to our 5th slide, which is going to be the combination of the 4. And so essentially what I have done is I have written a bit of a story, a numerology story. And what do I think this is all about? Well, what I think it's about is it's about our relationships that we have with each other, not just your relationships you have with your other half, your private family types of relationships, but how we interact with each other in partnership, how we go about living our lives, how things are structured, right? How we're taught to be divisionary. I'm going to be over here because I'm white, or I'm going to be over here because I'm black, or I'm going to be over here because I'm Indian, whatever your deal is, right? It's all about that. And who's male and who's female, who's the child and who's the parent. But yet how we as people impact each other, how culture plays a part in that, and our families and the need for healing and our ancestral need for healing. Many of us have experienced abandonment in our childhoods in this lifetime. It's been action oriented. 1, 2, 3, a death of our old ways. And so something is incoming for the well-being of our families. We need to collaborate. So it becomes a 12 karmic, right? And now there is a need for us to, as people, to redefine what family and collaboration looks like. Who am I? I'm a blank slate. I'm a canvas that needs painted. Once I realized I was a blank slate, it's my canvas to paint. But there's a need for partnerships and collaborations. We each have a voice, and it needs to be heard, because we are like gears, each one of us a gear. We turn each other's gears. This is why interacting with others is so important. There's a crisis within families and shadows, many unheard, creating illness, mental illness, physical illnesses, addictions, wanting to grow things without doing the work, wanting money, wanting security, wanting health, but not willing to do the 4 corners, the 4 things it takes, the 4 elements of life, the fire, water, air, and earth. As those who are in charge have created so much confusion and fear, we lose our ability to see the point too. We lose the ability to act for ourselves in good partnership and connection. Yet there's a promise of connection. And the sun is shining, a number 9, to remind us of who we are and that we are about being humanitarian. Again, that full moon in Aquarius is coming. So this is an interesting promise. And then we've got 3 and 49. We as teams can overcome those who oppress us. We have options and we need to cultivate for the good of all. 5, because we are in conflict, but there are divine and difficult times ahead. Overall, we're experiencing theft of our healthy minds and bodies, our interconnections. And that is what is actually required to remain healthy. They want to tell us that what it takes to be healthy is to be connected to the clergy, to the church, to be a Christian nationalist or warrior or whatever it was that I heard someone say that was just like bizarre. I'd never heard that expressed that way. And I grew up in the church and I loved my church. I was in the choir. I was the only white person in my church, but it doesn't really matter. I gained beautiful skills just by that alone. So with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments. Join me. Create a lively environment. Come forward with me. Let's collaborate. If you like what I do and you feel connected to how I say things, let's talk, because one or more gathered in his name creates more. And, you know, whether you know it or not, it's very true. And with that, I thank you for joining me here, and I'm going to stop share and I'm going to end this video. Thank you.